How is it going, guys? It is Midnight Rains, and we are back. Today, we are going to be talking about the new pets that just got released. So, we're going to go into the event. So, I still haven't gotten any mythic pets. There are no new mythic pets, but there are some rares and premium pets, and then there is one new legend. So, we're going to be going over the new legend. So, we're going to scroll over to him. So as you can see, the relation effect is pretty nice. You have Snowy, Grace, Evgenia, and Mist. So what this pet does is, if you have at least one, you reflect 100% of the inflicted damage with a 5% chance, which is pretty nice. That's basically one of the legend gems. I can't remember what it's called, but it's not protection. It's like the other one. But it also has a very similar effect, but you can get up to 20%, which is pretty nice. And that's actually not a bad team. If you look here at just the four that relate to it. I mean, I don't have Mist yet, maybe one day, but that's pretty good, 3 out of 4. Support types get speed, but it's all attribute types, not just like light or dark, so that's pretty cool. I like to use a lot of support type heroes. They're pretty meta right now, especially like these three. I don't usually think of Omega as a support. He's usually like a nuker to me, but hey, he fits in there. That's pretty cool. And then you get a little bonus as all your different heroes get a little bit of recovery. And it's not exactly a lot, so that might be pretty cool for Entel teams, because then you don't go over, if you have high recover, you'll outdo your, these like 30% of his health for that trait, where it activates all of that damage mitigation. So this will help, you'll stay in there, but even if they're dealing a bunch of damage, it'll make it kind of hard to get by Entel. So we'll probably see this in the future once more people get it. So let's go over to the rares. There are a lot of new rares, actually. Alright, so one of them is the Goblin. So he decreases the team's crit rate. So Notorious, Igna, and oh my gosh, Canopus, I can't even remember him. They're barely seen getting any play, so he might see play. I would see Canopus in the future, if anything, out of all of those. So starting off, they get like an attack boost for fire types, some pen resistance, and then you just decrease the crit rate of the enemy team. Now 20% is pretty good to decrease it by that, and that can definitely shut down some heroes, especially if you have very high, pen res already. That'll definitely make it hard to deal some damage. So seems okay, not too OP. Definitely not like the new legend. So the next we have is, I'm gonna pronounce this right, is Jiang Shi Mao? Mu? I don't know. Seems pretty cool. It's a little ghosty. He's got Wingfrid and Blue Dragon. Osseo isn't really used that much anyway. Like, as you can see, I don't even have one just because I feed it all the time. Hopefully that wasn't a bad mistake in the future, but we have the decrease the pen rate of the enemy team. So you're going to get a little bit of buff to defense on your water types. Debuff resistance is awesome, and then decreasing the pen rate of the enemy team. The cool thing about this is, naturally, even if you don't have any relation effect, you still get debuff resistance, which is going to be really huge. It's very hard to get debuff resistance right now, especially with just the hearts, because you're like, man, you want to use your hearts for evasion, or, I mean, if you're using it for accuracy, you're probably not going for defense, but it's very hard to choose what you want to do with your heart sockets. So, will be a really good pet once maxed. So the next one is Tang Guru, and his relations are kind of interesting. He's got Sven, Boom, and Sadie. Sadie is a pretty good nuker. You don't see it too much just because there's a lot better stuff out there. You know, like Lena is already way better. So you're kind of at a loss already, but it decreases the evasion rate of the enemy team, and it starts off at 20%, which is pretty good. And then you also have the attribute power up bonus. He's only a level 4, and he has plus 11, so I'm imagining he'll probably at least go to 20% attribute up, which would be pretty cool, especially if you put him with, maybe you put him with like a Tamira team. If you don't have the Myth Tamira pet, this might be something you could use. And then just throw like Sven on there with also like high defense, and he'd have like the full heal, so he's not total loss. And then his first skill can proc pretty well. So that might be something that people want to try out. So the next we have is Priest Luka, which looks like a long-eared rabbit. That's pretty cool. It decreases the enemy team's recovery effect with healing skills. The other two here, I can't remember her name. Carol and the sniper are okay, not really for like anything arena related. Definitely, I think Linus, Illinus. I can't tell if it's I think it's Illinus. I don't know, but Murder Birds, the light one got that redo, and so the skill set. I think I can see the skill set. Yeah, there we go. Where it hits the all enemies, excluding light attributes, which is pretty much anything except for like Evgenia Diaz, and stuns them for 2 turns with a 30% chance. The stun rate is kind of low, but it is an awesome skill. And then revives all dead allies of the attack type is insane, and then gives the bonus attack chance with 100% for 3 turns. So that's one heck of a buff right there. And then not to mention, you get the immune against silent sleep, stun, confusion. That's all of the stuff that everybody's using in arena right now. Definitely could find some use for this pet with illness if you have one. So of course you get some speed. You get increased penetration, which is a really good stat. And then the relation effect is the decreases the enemy team's recovery effect with skills. So that's a pretty interesting one you don't really think about, is reducing their amount of healing. If you can do that passively without having to use any skills, that might be something that could be pretty cool in the future. So the last one is the Little Witch Anzu. So this one looks really cool. I like that. It's like she's like riding a pumpkin airplane or something. It looks really cool. So we have the decrease the enemy team's HP. So I'm not entirely sure how good this is going to be. You only get 50 attack to all attribute heroes, and recovers every turn for your team by like 580. I'm pretty sure that's HP. It seems kind of odd, but you decrease the enemy's team by like 10, 20, 30%. I want to try this out, especially with Marianne. Just kind of get that negative 10%. Not really sure it's going to make a game changer. It might for TOT hard mode, but then again, I don't really use any of these in TOT hard mode. So, but that's definitely pretty cool. Maybe something with him you can kind of pair with like Xiami and Marianne too. I guess you could do like the tri combo. Maybe something with like a dragon, and then just like poison everything easier if you're having trouble. It might give people an extra out. So this is the other only new pet that I'm missing. It's the Mimic. It basically grants immunity against burning with a fixed chance, which seems pretty cool, especially if you build your Lava Giant. I've sort of built mine. I haven't really put anything on him. He's got probably like 1 equip, and he's just from the I think you get him for free for something, so I just kind of kept mine. as you know, in level 6 of mines, what really kills you is reflect and burning. So this pet is basically made to counter that. So this is, I mean, if you have four of them, I'm not entirely sure you're going to build these four to be your perfect mines team. But I definitely would see Lava Giant being used in your end game. So that right there is a 25% chance immunity against the burns. So it's a little less to worry about. Um, the other bonus is you do get pen res and then a little bit of attack. Nothing really insane. So we have the elemental Aku, which seems really cool. I like the design. I've never really seen anything like that. And it has increased the attack power of all allies. So that's another thing we don't exactly think about is attack power increase. Now, I'm not sure if this is attack power just like raw attack or it's attack power related to skill. I'm not sure yet. I'd have to test it. But the plus side is that it also gives debuff resistance. So passive debuff resistance is going to be big, especially for me because I don't really have the best immunity and it's kind of hard to get, like I said, debuff resistance. So this will probably be a popular pet once it's maxed out, and it's like a common, so it shouldn't be too hard to max out, so to speak. um, so yeah, we'll probably see that one in the future. So the other one is the Archer Pyrus, which seems pretty neat. It's like a Robin Hood mouse. Sleepy is on there, so Sleepy is actually, I know a lot of people don't go like, oh my god, Sleepy is so good, but especially early to mid game, Sleepy is used by a lot of players, especially now. Increase the evasion rate of all allies. It's pretty cool. Um, you get that passive 10%. There's probably better pets that you could use. You get a little more attribute power up. Maybe that kind of mixed with how Tamira is being, that 100% attribute power up. You kind of put that on Sleepy. Water types won't really kill her at all. And with the meta being a lot of water types for nukers, like mainly Iris and Pones, it might help a lot. So that might be a neat pet to try out, especially if you're early to mid game. All right, so this one is also a cool one. It's the Ego Sword. It increases the attack speed of all allies. Now, Okra is on here. Now, I haven't exactly used Okra before, but I've always kept her because she has this one. Increases the skill power, so you can get like a nice nuke. Now I did pull Candela, so I'll probably use Candela over Okra. But if you have Okra and you need to clear certain content, the skill power buff is pretty nice before you nuke. And then we just say like alt is basically what we call him, but he's not too bad. Some people argue about him over Isotar. I like Isotar more, but if you want the stun and the back row, I think hits pretty decent. It's not too bad. He has the first attack trait and some extra bonus attack chance. Not too bad. He could probably be used with the pet, but the main thing is the extra penetration, and then you get the attack speed for the team, and then the attack type light attack. The attack type light attributes get 10 speed. So that's pretty cool. Not entirely sure I'll use that one either. That one's kind of meh. It's probably more for like early to mid game. This last one I'm definitely interested in. This is probably like my most anticipated pet when I saw this yesterday. Living Armor. So he has the relationship effect that goes with Metal Giant, and I was like, so yes, I've saved Metal Giant all this time. His usefulness will come in handy. And it grants specific immunity against confusion. And so you get some extra crit damage and extra crit damage. Not sure why support type heroes are getting extra crit damage, because that doesn't make sense because they're not going to be attacking. So I'm not sure why they have to crit anything. that's probably a little weird. So we're gonna slide by that and go with the first relationship effect grants 25% chance off the bat just for having metal giant on there. Um, I wouldn't really. I have a master dustiff. I kept it because it's blessed and it's shiny. But looking at these, it removes the beneficial effects, but it's not the guaranteed one. So it doesn't get by Tamira and Elrai, etc. It's not as good. Um, doesn't really nuke really hard, so you probably won't see this guy either. You'll probably just see like Metal Giant if you use this. Uh, I definitely would use this for TOT hard mode. Maybe there's a floor in TOT that you can't clear. This will probably help you out on that. And Arena, I really want to test this in Arena with Metal Giant. Until I get my other effects up, I think it's the Aku where it has the debuff resistance. I'll probably try out the Living Armor. So those are the new pets. I hope you guys enjoyed and are getting lucky with pulling your new pets. So let me know what you guys think. Maybe let me know if you guys have any ideas that you think would be pretty cool for new pets. And I will see you guys in the next video.